Friends, Jai Sri Ram, welcome to Bharat Marg. Welcome Vinay ji. Thank you for joining us, the political analyst, and absolutely so incredible to be here with you. And thank you for all the viewers for joining us. And today is going to be a very, very important topic. Okay, many times when people come to Canada, they think the roads are made on gold and whatnot and all. Many times people risk their life and come and do whatnot, sell all their properties and come. But today, the situation is Canadians are homeless. That's what we are going to discuss about. If you want to know about Canada, Canadians are homeless. Roof on the head becomes luxury. Rent and mortgage soar, making the highest number of Canadians homeless ever in the history of Canada. Okay, that's what we are going to discuss about. Click watch the political analyst Vinay ji explain. And if you have any question, friends, please post it here. You are more than welcome to join the conversation by adding any questions, comments, etc. And also, friends, please make sure to like the video, comment on the video, share the video as much as you can. And you know what? We need your support in all the ways. And make sure to subscribe the channel and also press the notification bell to stay connected so that whenever we go live, you get notified along with the title so that you can come and join us if interested and ask any question and become the part of the conversation. Vinay ji, welcome to Bharat Marg. Appreciate it highly. See here, I just want to show you some things before we get started, okay? See here, we got some pictures here from the downtown of Toronto, okay? See here, okay? Homeless, alone, hungry, cold, all act of kindness. Man, many times people think it is summer, but it is not really that hot this time, right? And rainy when it gets rainy, and you know, homelessness. These are all good people, Vinayji. They are not like not working, lazy thugs who are on drugs. Many times we think other people in the homeless area, when they come with a begging bowl, when you say this to people in India, they don't believe. They say, oh, in US and Canada, the beggars are there too, kind of thing. But it's a sad reality, isn't it? Every junction you stand, there are people who are looking for help, okay? And you know that. And many of these people are hard working Canadians who worked hard in their life to make sure they can make the ends meet. And today their situation is no home, no support, and they are on the road. Okay, who is responsible for us for this situation and what is happening? Vinayji, welcome, take it over.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, this is nothing new. It's been happening, but the number of homelessness, the number of homeless people, is actually on the rise. And as you can see, I mean, if you do some little bit of research on the number of people actually going to shelters, okay,
Mhm.
shelters are now almost full. Like
Mhm.
there's no more space to take on any more people, like your Salvation Army shelters or any of those government run shelters, right? There's no room anymore because people, it's full. So that is the reason. If there is no room in shelters, what do the people do? They shelters are free, of course, and so they basically
And
go.
how safe are they? That's a big question.
That's a huge question mark. I mean, I'm not going to go into that. That's another topic for another day. Because shelters are, I mean, there have been questions about how safe they are and whatever, and especially
And
for
see
women.
here, many of them are women, single
Right,
women. Okay,
right.
uh, wow, that's
And
unbelievable.
it's unbelievable.
And
And
in the
then,
morning, you had to vacate the shelter. Many times people think it is like a home. You can go and put your luggage and
no,
stay
no, no,
there.
no, no.
That's
It's only you stay only for that night, and then you got to come back and re-register in the evening. So the shelters open up at one point, and they basically, and there are day shelters as well where you can, go in and sleep or take rest during the day. But most of them are night shelters, and it's around the year actually. And a lot of these people who are unable to find shelters, because shelter is the last resort. Like, if people cannot pay rent, if they cannot pay their mortgage, they abandon, or they are probably thrown away by their families, or they might have left their families, or so many reasons, or they may not have a
And
job to pay for it.
Vinayji, yeah, I just was, I want to share something with you if you can shed some light on it. I was talking to one of my friend, and he is in a kind of a two kids family, so it's a two-bedroom apartment they are in, and it is $3,500 rent after tax money. Okay, they didn't pay the utilities yet. They nothing happened. They didn't bring the food on the table. $3,500, that is $50,000 after tax money. Who in the world has that kind of money? That means
No, no,
if you
you're
don't have.
absolutely right, because the cheapest apartments are normally the basement apartments. Because if you go into condos, they're more expensive. So basement apartments are now going for $3,000 to $3,500. Like, basement apartments that are about two-bedroom home.
Mhm.
If you have a family, so the husband and wife will take one bedroom and the kids will take another bedroom, and those kind of how basement apartments, like two bedroom apartments, are going for $3,000. In fact, one of my friends, I was talking to him over the weekend, and he said he's renovating because he's unable to pay his mortgage for the entire house. So now, basically, his family used to use the basement. Now they have emptied out the basement, and they're cleaning it up and making it good, like, so that they will
Rentable.
be able to rent it soon. And he said, September 1st, I'm renting it and I'm advertising it for $3,000 plus
Wow.
utilities. So that's what the status is. So now, people who are unable to pay the rent, who are unable to pay mortgage, who don't have a job, or who have lost their job, who lost their businesses and all that, they have no choice. They go to relatives' house, they go to friend's house or whatever, but you can only stay there for a few days. But then next step is shelter. And if the shelter also doesn't work out, because your shelters, again, you cannot keep going to shelters for a long time.
And you
So
cannot go as a family. Okay,
and
you get
also,
one spot so as a family.
exactly.
Is that right, Vinayji?
No, no,
Means you cannot say
there are
that.
shelters for families too. There are shelters for families as well. It's not just for single people. But then, if the shelters are on a first come first serve basis, okay, there are limited beds there, so you have to stand in line, and then you have to find a place for yourself. Like, if they are unable to give you a spot for that particular night, what do? You cannot pay for the hotel. You can't afford a hotel. So
And
now,
most of the time, the hotels are like what we discussed in a previous episode. They are all given for refugees many times. The close
that's
by,
another
and
thing.
you don't even have a hotel
So
available.
if you want a half decent hotel, like, you got to pay a lot. Plus, many hotels are not available, because the ones that are affordable are not. Some of these hotels, they do a monthly, weekly basis rents and all that. So the last resort for these people is homelessness. So basically, what do? They go clean up a small area on a street corner, or under a bridge, or under a flyover, or something like that, and they make it their home. Now here, nobody will stop them, because they can stay there for whatever, how many ever days they want. Now the problem is with washrooms, with the kitchen, with whatever, right? How do they manage all of that? See, because you know what, these guys, they don't have any of that luxury, so they try going into a Tim Hortons, they go into a public washroom or one of those. But end of the day, it's so constrained. So, this is what the reality is. And why is this happening? Because the economy is just going down. And today I want to share.
Vinayji, one second. I just want to quickly show this in this time when you're talking about staying under the bridge. There is
Mhm.
a video that went viral of international students. They were from India, and they found themselves staying below the bridge, like you exactly said. And these are they were just begging outside. These are all the students, international students,
Well,
from
yeah,
countries like India. And they were begging because they wanted to make a phone call to their family to say, can you get us back home?
exactly. So now the funny thing is, it's unfortunate that this is happening in Canada. Canada is one of the most developed countries in the world. They, if you do they did a survey on the top 10 countries to live in, and Canada is kind of complete, in the top 5 actually, the best countries to live in. And those are all images of Canada, but the ground reality is a lot different today, unfortunately. And so let's talk about this particular student who's in who came from India as an international student. So this boy, he actually was registered in Conestoga, Conestoga College in Kitchener. All right. And he basically, apparently, he overextended his budget by paying for a forklift license, and which he thought would land him a job, because he needed to support himself during the time he's not studying, because he has to maintain his fees, he has to pay his tuition fees, he has to pay his rent, he has to pay for his food, his groceries, and all of that, right? And basically, as a result, he was unable to sustain himself. So now he started looking for other means and ways to find a job, and somebody told him, go get a forklift license. But forklift license costs you $75. Okay, $75 is all you need to get a forklift license. It's a 2-hour training, and immediately you get a license. So that did not really overextend his budget or something. Somebody is is giving a wrong narrative here. The reality of this is the cost of living has gone up so much. The rent has gone up so much.
Vinayji, where I want to contradict you. As per the reports provided by the Canadian government, the unemployment has come down. More people are getting job. More people are having spendable money. Then how come your numbers are not adding up?
Fantastic. Okay, did you see a recent video of the lineup at Fortino's? Okay, on July 31st. Okay, which was only 4 or 5 days ago. All right.
Fortino's is a grocery shop.
It's a grocery store in Canada, and it's owned by Loblaws, and basically it's this particular location near Beauvais and Mountain Ash. Okay, so that's where this particular Fortino's, they had advertised for some to hire people. But they did not expect that right from the get-go, from the morning, like I don't know what time these people started lining up. There was a huge lineup that went right from the grocery store all the way through the plaza to the streets, actually. And this is apparently, one person wrote, this is a scary and is the result of faulty immigration system. Hundreds of thousands of entering into this country, but no upgrade of any system. And other grocery stores,
and of course legally then you have illegal and refugees and all those.
Exactly. And these are people who may or may not even have a job, but obviously to work in Canada you need to have you need to have a SIN card. And now the students are allowed to work legally, I think up to 20 hours a week or something like that.
No, they have increased to 40, I guess, if I mistake not, from 20. They have increased the number. Previously, it was 20.
Okay, I'm not 100% sure on that. So basically, this is what's going on. So it's so unfortunate that you see so many international students and whatever, plus the local people. Don't forget the local population. They're also looking for jobs, and it's mind-boggling that so many people had to stand up in a line to get these jobs. And I'm not sure what you're talking about and where these numbers are coming from. About
Fortino's is a grocery shop in Canada. That means they must be paying pretty well, isn't it? How much must be this?
They pay the minimum wages. Nobody pays very well. There is minimum wages, and any whether it's a big store or a small store, they stick to their minimum wages. Minimum wages is whatever, $15, $16 an hour, and that's what you stick with, right? So you don't. I mean, they obviously are extremely, especially the bigger stores are extremely cautious about how much they want to pay, and they're the smart ones, and they pay the, if you go to a smaller store, they'll probably pay you a lot more than a bigger grocery store or a bigger employer. But the smaller ones are the ones they probably pay you a lot more, maybe 25 cents, 50 cents more, or a dollar more sometimes.
25 cents more?
Yeah,
Means
exactly.
what do you do with that?
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. The minimum wage in Ontario is currently $15.50 per hour. Okay. And the minimum student also have a minimum wage. You people who are on student visas and whatever, the student minimum wage is $14.60 per hour. Okay. And apparently they're going to be increasing as of October 1st. The minimum wage is going to be increased to $16.55 per hour in Ontario, and the minimum student wage will increase to $15.60 per hour. So they're increasing it by $1. Okay. For both $1.05 for the normal people, and the students it's going to go up by $1. So now if somebody is going to get 25 cents more, I would go there and work. Okay. That'll give me $25 cents per hour will give me for 8 hours, maybe $2, right? And if you work the entire week, you work 5 days a week, you get $10 extra. $10 will get you a bag of milk, a couple of loaves of bread, and some bananas and whatever, right? So why not? People are so desperate right now. So I'm going to jump back to the student who actually was found homeless. Okay. So that's a very interesting topic, actually. And this person who came to Canada had to deposit a minimum of $10,000 in GIC, guaranteed income certificate, a safety net of sort, which is returned to them in installments every month. Okay. So this is a requirement. All right. Now, the students, apparently, GIC money for the month was due to come on the 28th of July. So they get about $600 or something, approximately a month. All right. And depending on how long their program is and all that stuff. So now the problem with this gentleman, I don't know how he made it from all the way from Kitchener to Scarborough. Okay. So this gentleman was found in Scarborough under a dilapidated, flyover under a bridge, in very pathetic condition. Like it was like infested with rats and mice and all that stuff. And he had just some old blanket or whatever, and he was there. And some people found him, and they basically said, "Hey, what's going on with you?" And he said, I go to Conestoga College, and unfortunately, I don't have a home, and I just stayed here. So they said, okay, we'll take you back home, and we'll give you. They gave him like $20 or $40 or something like that, and they said, hey, why don't you go back to your home? And guess what the student said? I don't have a home to go back to. I don't have a place to go back to. This is my temporary home. So basically, they actually took him from there and put him in a shelter. Okay, this is unfortunate. This is what's going on, and why is it happening? Because of the crazy price rise, and what is the government doing about it? They're actually not helping the population. Instead, they're actually increasing the interest rate, and nothing. That is basically hurting everybody, because your disposable income every month is a certain amount. Now, from that disposable income, now you have to pay the extra interest rate, the extra mortgage, the extra utility cost, the extra gas. Everything is going out of that. So that whole disposable income is depleted completely, and you have no money for yourself. So this is what's going on. So rather than tackling this in a different way by by going and checking these prices or curbing these price rise,
Come on,
job
don't
loss or
talk,
whatever.
don't give this wisdom, please. We are busy with Ukraine. Don't do that. No.
No,
Okay.
I'm just saying. I mean, this is unfortunate. I mean, like the people who are, in these big positions, like Anita Anand. She was defense minister, and now they've made her president of the Treasury Board. Okay, now she is supposed to kind of find ways and means to reduce this whole inflation and blah 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 and all of that. What is she going to do about it? I mean, has she got any background in this economics or any of that sorts? These are politicians. They have no idea about what goes on, and they don't want to take any suggestions or any recommendations from the people who actually are at the ground level and who are who actually know the facts.
Yesterday, Vinayji, our prime minister got divorced, right?
Oh, it's a
There
very
was a
unfortunate. Yeah.
yeah. And and somebody put a comment. He said it's a private matter. Please don't talk about it. But somebody explained that why she left. He screwed the whole country, so I leave him. you know
Yeah.
and one more user, all negative comments. Okay, one more user wrote, what, you are a big person, you deserve a prize because we couldn't take him for 8 years, but you took him for 18 years.
No, I mean, like, the funny thing is, if somebody cannot manage their own home, if somebody cannot manage their own domestic problems, if somebody cannot manage their own personal issues. Okay, everybody has personal issues, everybody has domestic problems, everybody has issues within the relationship issues and stuff like that. And if somebody is unable to manage that, how the heck can you trust this person to manage the entire country for you?
But, coming back to our subject, Vinayji, this was a boy who was under the bridge, and think about so many Indian girls who come. Because I talk about India because most of our viewers are from India, right? Man, they don't even know these things exist in Canada.
Right, exactly. And a lot of people don't know about shelters and they are not aware of many of these
And it
things.
is scary. It's not like a luxury hotel you checked into. That's for
No,
sure.
no, no, no. God, no. Shelters are kind of the last resort for anybody, right? I mean, I would not even recommend that to an enemy to
I
go and live in
I won't
a
dare to step
shelter.
in.
Yeah.
Means
So
God forbid. Oh my God.
it's
You
very
know,
unfortunate that this
I'm
happened.
not putting down anybody who is there, but you know what? Oh my God.
Exactly. So the unfortunate part of this whole this fiasco that happened with this student, the Conestoga student, is that students are paying approximately between $15,000 to $30,000 per year, okay, in Canada for who come on international as an international student, okay, on a student visa, right? And this is for undergraduate program, and for graduate program they're paying between $10,000 to $25,000. And even the private colleges who are offering a 1-year diploma or 1-year certification program for example, hair aesthetics or body sculpting or some assistant to the X-ray technician or whatever, right? So those kind of things, even those cost a lot of money, $10,000 to $15,000, $20,000. And then on top of that, you're also paying your rent, your food, and all of that. So how are these people managing? Because it's unfortunate that these guys have to come up with that kind of money, so they have no other choice but to go homeless and find
But
ways and means of supporting
we are
themselves.
almost coming to the end of the thing. I have one question for you.
Mhm.
Just before winding off, do you see any light at the end of the tunnel?
Right now, I'm not seeing light at the end of the tunnel. The only thing
Any
is,
way for improvement at all?
like, the only way that the the as far as improvements are concerned, it's our moral duty, actually, for people like, this person called Gandhi. He actually found this gentleman under the flyover, right? And it's apparently it's not just one person. So don't get me wrong. If we're only talking about one person, but it's not one person. Apparently there are many students who are living as homeless. Okay, it could be one of those people we
Not
are
only
showing on the
students,
video.
not only students, very hard
Yeah,
working, tax
and
paying.
hardworking individuals. We already talked about that, but I just wanted to address the South Asian students. It's not just one student who was found homeless. There are many students who are doing this, and it's unfortunate, but it's not coming to the limelight. So, what's the solution for this? The solution is, we as a community have to help them, because the government is not doing much, and the government is bringing in immigrants left, right, and center. The other day, I was at the Highway 410, on 410, and I was exiting on Sandwood Parkway. Okay, and right at the intersection, when I'm waiting for my traffic signal, I saw this woman uh, dressed in hijab and whatever, right? And she was begging, and she had a sign. Okay, and she said, "I'm homeless, and I'm a new immigrant. I came in as a refugee. Can you please help?" What does that tell you? So the government is bringing these people just to give the narrative to the world media that, wow, Canada has welcomed 100,000 refugees, or Canada has given home to 50,000 refugees from Syria, from Afghanistan, from blah blah blah, whatever country. But what is it doing for these people? There's a temporary, maybe they'll take care of them for 6 months or a year, but after that they let them loose. Now these guys don't have any knowledge of any the local country, and then they don't have qualifications, they don't have the language skills. So guess what they do? They are homeless, number one, and they're begging on the streets. So
And the more the
tomorrow,
beggars are, the stealing starts. Stealing, robbery, everything. Because
absolutely.
when
And
you
you heard of what's going on in Brampton? There's so many car thefts, and so much burglaries, and so many home invasions, and all that stuff that's going on. All this is because the crime is increasing because of this situation here, and the government
people are
has to do
hungry,
something, but I don't know what they'll do.
yeah, people are hungry, and there are food banks in Canada which doesn't they don't they are running out of food, and many things are happening.
Oh my
At
God!
this
Yeah,
time,
absolutely. Food banks are
at this
also, there's a
time,
huge lineup.
yeah, one person yesterday wrote a comment. It was very nice for Mr. Justin Trudeau. Sophia showed us the way what to do for a peaceful living. Like that.
Exactly. So if Sophia can do that, the rest of Canada should do that. Say,
Absolutely.
Mr. Trudeau, you go back to BC or wherever you are a teacher, go back to working as a teacher.
No,
You are not fit to run
no,
this
no.
country.
Yeah, he doesn't need to work as a teacher. He's a multi millionaire now. Why the heck
Yeah,
he has to go and
whatever.
work as a
Exactly.
teacher, right?
That's just to
Prime Minister, his pension itself will take care of him. He's a
no,
very
I mean, the amount of money and all that. There's a lot
and
of
the
stuff going
scandals and all those things.
on. Exactly. I don't
Backhanded
want to get into
deals.
these scandals and stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, and but you know what? Twitter called him as one of the most eligible bachelor today in the world, Mr. Justin
Oh yeah,
Trudeau.
yeah,
So,
absolutely. And I won't be surprised if by December of this year he finds a new girlfriend and proposes.
yeah, a lot of them available anyway. He can just roam around
Exactly.
Toronto. He will find
I
a
don't
lot.
know. I wish him the best. Actually.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
Yeah, we have nothing against anybody. He's
Exactly.
just not fit. That's it. Anyway, thank you very much, Vinay ji, for coming in and sharing your knowledge. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ji.
And we wish and pray at this time, friends. You know what? Like Vinay ji said, let's help anybody. And if you or your family is planning to migrate to Canada, please make sure to watch our channel. In Bharat Marg, we have a playlist which is predominantly done by Vinay ji. It's called as Knowing All About Canada. Okay, go and see it, because we are not immigration consultant. We have nothing to gain from you. You come, you don't come, it's up to you. But come here knowing the reality is our goal. Thank you, Vinay ji, for coming and joining us, and appreciate it, and looking forward to see you again very soon. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you.